been looking great as well. I think we're gonna have a great matchup here on Bind to round out every map that we've seen, except we're still waiting for Split. That's one thing I'm excited to see in the main event next week is the new Split with some of the recent changes, but we'll be seeing Bind here to close out the show.
We will, and John, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna get extra giddy in this one. I love casting Bind. It's probably my favorite map to cast because, again, as you've probably observed at this point, I nerd out really hard on how teams play maps and how they like show different fakes and they use the information that's given to them to make decisions. Bind lends itself to that so well, especially when you consider the teleporters and the different plays that are available because of that. So we'll see Time In on the attacking side what they have up their sleeves. Ninja's going to be on the Cypher, a slight difference from what we normally see him on, that being the Killjoy. Morg on the Omen, Kurt once again on the Jet, and across the board the rest looks about the same. Worth noting, Down Bad bringing a Brim into the fold.
Yeah, of course, recent buffs to Brimstone, elongated smokes are going to make a difference. Nice pick right there, actually going to catch Ninja off guard. Danny's going to neutralize right after the software engineering student himself. Margazi's going to get one on Bank Raffle, I like the gamer tag. Kurt's going to follow up on Nico. So just like that, 2 versus 3 from the defending team. Timon has the slight advantage. Here comes the retake opportunity. Xander looking for one. Xander's going to get it. Headshot over Margazi. Almost gets the double kill, but Kurt was ready for it. Zambi's going to take out Kurt. And here we go. All left to a 1 versus 1 here. It's going to be Grego versus Zambi. Smoke's going to go down. The Molly's going to follow. And that should be an opportunity. I don't know if the Molly's deep enough. And I don't know if Grego's even realizing that he's not connecting for squat. The defuse is going to come through, and not much you could do right there for Grego. The molly and the decision to pick up some utility in round 1 made the difference there for Zambi.
I'm not going to lie to you. I hate this saying, but pros don't fake, right? The molly was there. He tapped it, and he stuck it the entire way through. That was so well played. And look, another big thing from Down Bad. As soon as Time In showed up Showers, they took the B long telly to pinch them into Showers. So well played by Grego, I believe it was, to stop that pinch in from behind. But for a moment there, Time In were just sitting ducks, right? They were flanked in from all sides. They had no options on how to play the map. Fortunately, they fought their way through a little bit, but again, the damage was done.
Yeah, I will say, I talk about it often, the importance of having a short-term memory. That's a tough one to lose if you're Time In. An opportunity to go up early. We have not seen Time In lose many initial rounds this entire tournament. Went 2-0 against Complexity, which is tough to do. Had a 3v2, had the bomb down, and of course couldn't capitalize. Now it is Zambi that's going to be helping his team. Maybe the hero for round 1 is now the hero in round 2, helping them secure a second round win. Agility is going to follow up, and this should be a pretty easy round against Time In here in round number 2 with the slight eco advantage. Down Bad will capitalize. Danny's going to get taken out. Spike is down, and it's all up to Ninja, but in a 1v4, Ninja's just going to try and do as much damage as he can.
Which should be a decent amount. Time In forced here, right? Like, they rolled the die. They're going to have decent guns to fight back, and that's how you see Ninja getting one onto Xander. Down Bad just down to 3, but the problem is, as is often seen on the attacking side, if you've got a split play and the spike isn't in a safe spot, if something goes sideways, as we saw, you leave your last player on an island trying to really infiltrate their way into what feels like Fort Knox just to get the spike, and then he has to get onto the site, plant it, and then assume a post-plant position. You're just asking for a lot in a situation like that. So the round goes a bit sideways, Time In forced, and now, John, they're broke. Like, they're capital B broke here.
Yep, absolutely. That's what happens when you decide to gamble a little bit on round 2 and hope that, that gamble means, well, you're not going to be too far behind. Likely Down Bad's not going to pick up assault rifles, a Vandal, or a Phantom here in round 2, and you hope it pays off. But when it doesn't, well, it hurts for another round. And now, as a result, it should be a round 1. But keep an eye on Down Bad. They didn't all pick up either Vandals or Phantoms. They maintained quite a few of those SMGs that they had from the round previously, obviously recognizing no need to buy here. Let's really save up as much as possible because we know that Time In is going to have to save, so it should be around 1. SMGs beat pistols every single day.
Yeah, they're gonna ride that bonus. Sweet.
Yep.
Sweet bonus all the way to Graceland. The one difference, Bancroft did buy a Vandal. So we'll see.
Just be
keep
safe.
that in mind. Yep, and there it is. Like clockwork,
there it
man.
Is.
Opening pick on Ninja.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what you want. If one person's going to pick up a Vandal, let that person play up a little bit. Or play back, if you will, because you have more range, obviously. And that's what Bankroll's going to actually take advantage of. 2 picks picked up off the rip. And at this point, just wall banging and securing themselves a round number 3 win. And again, nice headshot right there from Bankroll. But again, I go back to it. I hate to hamper on it, but or beat a dead horse, if you will. But that first round, that time in could have had, or maybe should have had secured with a 3 versus 2, is going to haunt them and has haunted them now. Xander's going to get a pick all up to Morgazi here with the Sheriff. He's going to be playing patient. Has the spike, so that means, might have an opportunity to play this slow, play a little sneaky. But that's the difference between team comps, by the way. We have an Omen in favor of time in, and we have a Brimstone in favor of down bad. Smokes for each team still, obviously, but Omen means we get to see some Omen plays.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how teams continue to prioritize the Omen after the changes that came through. The Paranoia is notably more expensive now for the Omen, so you've got to really think about balancing your economy in a way that allows you to bring that into the fold. Again, people still opting to bring the Omen into the fold. A quick look at the scoreboard. We'll see down bad is up big, and they're not the ones that are down bad, as Bancroft is leading the frags, not just for his team, but for the server at a 5-2 performance. Down bad looking pretty here. They've stacked up a couple of members over on B. Elsewhere on the map, they've got 2 players. They've got some of that Cypher utility blocking things out on A. This is a good early look, and I love the aggression that they're taking down B long just to set up a player on that cross. And they don't know he's here.
Here comes... That's exactly right. I don't know if they can get that first pick, and there it is. Nico's going to get one on a long. Nico gets a second. Bankroll's going to pick up one right after. Zambi gets another. All up to Ninja, last alive, of course, as the anchor on the other side of the map, but too little too late as they went all in on that long side push, and it did not pay off. And just like that, the round that they bought time in loses as they decided to go all in with a push towards B long, and of course it was Nico with the op that shut it down.
And again, it wasn't just Nico with the op. I think obviously he was the playmaker, but it was the way they positioned Nico there. They caused enough of a ruckus to allow him to cross over to the teleport side of that lane and have that tight angle that they weren't expecting. They used the Sova drone to try to get some information, but the swing was there. I believe he got 2, maybe even 3 kills with it. It was just so well set up.
So it is a mountain to climb right now. Obviously, Bind is defensive heavy as a map, so I don't think it's the end of the world or anything even close to it just yet. No reason to panic if you're a fan of Ninja, of Morgazi, of Grego, and of course the entire time in squad. But certainly a strong start for Down Bad, who really, you looked at time in, the momentum that they had coming into this match. It's hard to call a favorite in this. Oh my gosh, no way. Grego's going to get taken out by an absolute Kobe or Peyton Manning of a grenade coming through from Bankroll.
Yeah, that was pretty. Again, we see some of that. Oh, through the wires. Kurt dashes through with the Blade Storm, able to get a kill up close and personal onto Xander. That's going to provide some room for the Oracle Strike to be used, but Kurt just dances his way around it, gets a kill onto Bancroft as he continues to slice and dice members of Down Bad.
Yeah, and who is it? None other than Kurt to try and shift the fate of this time in squad. Kurt performed so well in both of our matches. Not just another headshot to add insult to injury there from Kurt. Can he get the kill? The last one, another headshot to close that out. That's a thrifty win, courtesy of Kurt with the 4K. Huge plays. I am so incredibly impressed by Kurt. A former member of T1 Apex Legends. He did it in Apex. He does it in Valorant. He's done it time and time again. This tournament, just in the last 2 hours, he's performed so incredibly well. 4 kills right there will turn things around quite a bit with a thrifty win. That was a must-win for time in.
A must-win indeed. Down Bad had roared out of the gates. They had already put up 4 rounds. The nice thing for them is, again, because of the lead that they were able to amass, they don't walk into this next one broke. They're still able to buy full time in with 4 ultimates to work with as well. So they have some options, but they're already getting smoked off down B long. We've seen this look from time in, and last time it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, well, they decide to go for it again here. this time, hoping that there's not the op that's going to stare them straight down the barrel. It looks like the ultimate's going to come through from Sova, and Danny's going to connect with one. Danny's been so clutch with the ultimate from Sova. Probably one of the higher success rates or kill rates from what I've seen. And now after getting that first pick, they're going to bait over towards B, and they're going to rotate and swing it all the way back to A. And you can see 3 members. One member is Grego, still over here, just pulling aggro and distracting. That means that they're going to have a 4 versus 2 on the other side of the map. That will help them, but it's going to be all members actually recognizing the rotation over to A. Smart decision from down bad, kind of seeing it one step ahead here.
Yeah, and the problem is they're dashing into Cypher utility. We already see Xander get a pick. Morg trades it out as they funnel onto the site. Keep a close eye on the flank, however. Jet in market has a chance for something here.
Yeah, I have been so impressed by Bankroll. Danny's trying to get a plant, baiting it. Ninja's going to clutch up and get one. That was huge. Agility's still alive, and oh my goodness, it's going to be Bankroll's going to get yet another one. Bankroll's been playing incredibly well. MVP of this match so far. 2 versus 1. Ninja, alive. Danny, alive. So we have 4 players on this time-in squad who are former professionals. Guess what? The one that is not, I don't believe, is Danny. 21-year-old software engineer who is kind of the wild card for this team, but a player I've been incredibly impressed with. Well, he's playing up with Ninja, one of the most seasoned players in all of esports, having gone professional in Halo, in H1Z1, in Fortnite, and now in Valorant. So we have kind of tell of both tales here between the 2 of them, Danny and Ninja, against a Jet. Jet's going to clutch up with 1. Grego's going to close it out, though, and I take that back. I thought it was Ninja, but it was actually going to be Grego who was alive, so all that hype for nothing. Sorry, Grego. I got to put some respect on your name and give you the hype and the gas instead, my friend.
Well, and we saw 2 ultimates used there, and that, it was a battle of ultimates at the end there. Well, yes, there was one player anchoring down, in U-Haul, but we saw the Blade Storm used, and the Showstopper was used in response. Nico had no choice there because all he had was the operator, so he had to use the Blade Storm. He had to go aggressive there to try to create some space. Goes in, goes aggressive, and gets the kill, but it was huge from Grego to land that Showstopper to trade that kill out and avoid a disastrous situation for time in.
Yeah, that was a wise decision from Grego. You're down by 3 rounds. You see an ultimate pull, just counter that ultimate. If you don't use it, you lose it, is the mentality there. Grego's going to get first blood on Bankroll. That's a big kill based on how Bankroll's been playing. Xander's going to follow up with 2 kills of his own. Ninja pushing up through A short. Trying to find a pick here if possible. Ultimate's going to come through. Ninja spots 1 over in bathrooms. Wallbang comes through. Wise decision from Ninja. Wallbang headshot is in. 2 versus 3. Ninja needs a clutch. He's going to turn. No, he's not going to do it. Yes, he does. Ninja with the 180 turn on the Brimstone. Beautiful plays, making it a 2v2. And now Morgazi's going to get the plant all the way. They're going to actually call a play over to B side instead. But it's going to be down bad who's all over it. The rotation coming through. It all comes down to this 2 versus 2.
Oh my goodness, that's huge. The shock dart from agility, but Morg with the spike, he's just gonna take it back, right? He's gonna go all the way back to A with the from the shadows, and that's gonna have down bad in a situation where they have to respond. They're gonna rotate over, but they're gonna be just a bit late to the party. They're gonna use that drone to try to find where Morgazi is, and they didn't spot him, so he's still gonna hold this tight angle, making sure nobody's working their way up through heaven as they creep forward slowly but surely, as he waits just on the other side of U-Haul. Down bad again with the numbers advantage, but the clock continues to tick away. That's, oh my gosh, that dart's gonna give him away. Morgazi has to run for the fences. He's gonna get dropped. A 1v2 situation. It was clever, a little go back and forth, but he's not gonna be able to win the round for time in.
Recon too strong? No, I'm just kidding. Nice job right there from Sova. Obviously with the drone, followed by the dart. Getting the intel needed, and my heart was beating, I think, just as fast and just as loud as Morgazi's was right there. That was such an intense situation. Completely thwarted by a recon arrow. Well done, well placed right there from the Sova on down bad. That was Agility, who, of course, not only had that one dart, also had the shock dart. That was really what made the difference. The kill on Ninja with the long-range shock dart. Ninja obviously was already damaged quite a bit, so even just a little bit of damage in the radius of that shock dart would have done it, and Agility was able to pick up that kill. That was the difference maker.
It was indeed down bad, up big. 3 rounds over the boys in red. This time in, they've found some success, but it has been admittedly mixed on the attacking side. A good tag early on. But again, Timon love playing down B long, and the reason they do that is because they have the Cypher playing over by A, and they have that teleport in the back pocket. If they choose to, if they want to, they can go ahead and telly their way through, understanding where safety is. But it seems like this time, Timon is very comfortable in pushing their way onto B.
Nico's going to draw first blood with the pick. That's become really synonymous here, as Nico's been playing very, very well as the opper. A couple first bloods are ready for Nico. Agility, the hero from last round, trying to get a pick as well. Bankroll's going to get one with the ultimate. This should be a down bad round one fairly easily here. Agility's going to get yet another. The defuse is going to come through. And of course, the last member alive for time in, it's going to be Grego. Not much he can do. Defenders will win this one 6-2.
Yeah, they look good, and I think the problem ended up being, while they still had a member, while they still had Ninja working his way through showers up towards A, there wasn't enough information gathered at that moment to understand how many members of Down Bad were playing on that site. So they again, with limited information, decide to commit to B, and Down Bad had the vast majority of their resources there. So they were able to fend off that initial push, retake. It was easy peasy lemon squeezy, and that forces Timon into a pretty bad spot here, John. It was Sheriffs and Stingers and not much else.
So, Bind, you mentioned you love casting it. I gotta ask you why. Obviously, it's one of the most defensive-heavy maps. Any other reasons as to why you like Bind? Is it the teleport plays? Is it just the map layout? What is it? As we get a little bit of a pause here, obviously, so just fill in some time.
Yeah, John, I'd say so. I think it's the ability for teams, both on the attacking and the defending side, to give different looks without showing much of anything. Really, and here's a really good example. Let's break down again. I mentioned it in the moment, but I want to, now that we have a slower moment, I want to break down what we saw from Timon there and the different options that they had. So initially, it's a very safe play, right? Push a couple of people up B long, send your Cypher, and it's commonly Cypher or a different Sentinel, but Cypher, because of the camera, the ability to get some more information on the site. But you send your Cypher up in through showers towards A. So as the majority of you are working your way at B, you've got options, right? If you sniff your way in and you're like, oh, you know, we can't establish control and elbow, or we're seeing too many players, or there's too much utility, or we find out Killjoy's posted up here, something like that, you have the option to go forward or take the teleport. So you have that piece. And on the other side, for the Cypher, his job is to stay alive and to get information. If he spots 2-3 players, or he spots utility, he understands where members are playing, and that tells you a lot about how safe or unsafe the play is towards B. There are just so many options on Bind.
Brilliant breakdown, obviously specific to team compositions. That's why you see a lot of Cypher in play. Thanks for the breakdown, as always. Off this round here, off the pause, it's going to be time in with an aggressive play, obviously trying to pull away around if they can. A thrifty round. This time, they're going to lose their Jet, who was the difference maker last time they were able to get that thrifty win with the 4K coming through from Kurt. So 3 versus 5 now. Sheriff in the hands of Morgazi, as we're currently on board with Omen himself, working their way through showers, but not going to find anyone here. Trying to see if they can sneak a pick, but Down Bad is well aware. I got to say, I've been impressed by Down Bad's defense and by Down Bad's counterplay. It seems like as great of strategy or plays that Timon has been making, rotations, decisions, Down Bad has always reacted quickly. You know, so quickly that the decisions and strategies made by Timon have not necessarily resulted in the fruit that they would have liked.
It's also, I think, interesting to note, as the time continues to narrow down on this round, you take a look at the last big tournament for Valorant, Nerd Street Gamers Winter Championships. This map, Bind, was the most heavily attack-sided of all of the maps in rotation. You take that, sprinkle in a little context of what you're looking at now, things don't look good for the boys over on Time In.
Player standing.
Yeah, it is very true. But we will see if they can try and turn it around here going into defense. They're going to get some plant money in, consolation money, if you will. But it's going to be bankroll shutting down Morgazi there to close out that round, and a round that was really a round one after they got the first 2 picks. Flawless round coming through on the thrifty situation for Time In as they decided to eco. Now they'll be back to full force here as they'll be able to buy. And let's see what they decide to run. They've run a couple of B long pushes to no avail. We'll see if they decide to do it again or if they decide to play over on A side.
Yeah, I'd love to see a bit of a split. I'd love to see Raze dropping Roomba into Hookah to clear that out, and then spend the rest of your resources up A short. It's very similar to the play we talked about earlier, but what you do is if you're able to establish Hookah control, you draw out a ton of utility on A around A short, tell your way through, and then you catch them with their proverbial pants down. So I'd love to see a bit of that, but it seems like for now, they are getting that Hookah control, like I mentioned, but there's no presence of A short. They want to go B here.
Yeah, so they're going for the same B long push. Ninja is obviously playing an anchor role, but wise decision from Bankroft, I keep saying Bankroll, sorry, Bankroft and his teammate, Cypher, as they both pushed through showers, took the 2v1 on Ninja, took that numbers advantage, so was able to kind of catch Ninja, the anchor, off guard, pick up a first kill. That's the first blood that they wanted, and that should help them out as they now have the numbers advantage on defense as well. That's a significant advantage in favor of down bad here in this round. It's going to require quite the hero play from someone on time in. If it's going to be anyone, it's going to be this guy, Kurt, on this squad.
Yeah, Kurt and Grego had a chance at something special too. I'll break that down in just a moment. But for now, Kurt on the swing, as you said, had a chance to make something happen. And so far, the guy delivers. He's got the Bladestorm in his back pocket as well. Time in with the numbers advantage, but down bad, starting to creep their way forward. They're one-dimensional in their retake attempts. They can only funnel their way in through the defending side door, and that causes problems for them, right? Not only are they outnumbered, but Timing know exactly where they're coming in from.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, I gotta say, I said it was gonna be Kurt. It was actually Grego. Danny now getting to pick Kurt in the last one, but shout out to Greg, who's gonna be the one that actually got the first kill. That first kill was the most important kill to make it a 4v4. Kurt followed up. Greg got the third. Danny got the fourth, and Kurt closed it out. It was kind of the kill order right there. So well done. That's a big round for time in. Despite losing one early, they're able to clutch that up. You already know Ninja, the hype man himself, is getting his team hyped after that one. That was a very, very important round win for time in. They are now down 7-3. We'll see if they can sneak a few here. Last time they won one, they got a round right after, but the economy is too strong here for down bad, so it's going to be tough to do it again. But they do have a couple ultimates to play with. They got an ultimate in the hands of Raze, an ultimate in the hands of Jet, so a pair of ultimates for the duelists.
Yeah, so John, this is the exact same look that we saw from time in the last round. The difference is Grego went huge, not because of his ability to get kills, but because of where he was able to control the map. He got into Hookah, and that was huge. Hookah presence and B long essentially opens up the site for you. The one difference that we're seeing here is while Grego once again was able to take Hookah control, the rest of time in has not been able to work their way up B long. Nico's been waiting with an op on the other side. There's really no way for them to funnel in, so they have to turn away.
Yeah, that's what's been working so well. That's why I kind of mentioned you can't get too excited if you're a fan of time in, because down bad has such high economy. It looks like they're going to execute on A short, though, so they baited it long. Nice pick from Kurt. Are you kidding me? Kurt, you are insane. He gets the 2K. First on the ultimate in the hands of Raze. Second connects for a nice flick of the wrist there. Beautiful plays from Kurt. He does it again, and now a 5 versus 3 for time in.
Okay. He still has an opportunity to make something happen. I like the one ways he's trying to set up. You already see the difference in the jet nerfs. He swings, Nico greets him, agility gets in on the action as well as he gets one. Nico trying to continue to push the matter as the spike has gone down and continues to tick away. U-Haul presence in favor of down bad, but there's the showstopper. It is gonna connect onto agility, but he doesn't know Nico's there. Blackpack's across. Nico's able to get the shots anyway. Drops things down to a 1v1. Nico wisely saving a couple of blades. Cloudburst is there, but Ninja through the smoke lands the shots to give time in the round.
Jiminy Cricket's Batman is all I got on this. I'm not that corny, but that round was just absolutely insane. I had to drop the most corny line I think I've ever dropped in my life casting. I'm not going to lie to you. That was probably it. Wow. What a round that was. Back and forth. Agility and Nico played that so well as a duo. Obviously, playing off of the op pick from Nico. Agility follows up, keeps Nico alive. Nico drops the operator, picks up a Vandal instead, and they continue to work their way through, but it was the ultimate from Grego that was able to shut things down, and ultimately Ninja in a 1 versus 1 with the through the smoke spray and pray connects for the kill. That was an insane back and forth type round.
It was, and while the ending was insane and it was unpredictable, this round, the beginning, has been very predictable. As once again, we're seeing Time In show the same look, right? They clear hookah, they get in, and then they look to push down B long. Nico's there, Operator's there. All right, we can't go this way. Let's get the heck out. The one difference is you don't see Cypher, or excuse me, you don't see Ninja taking as aggressive of a position. He's not getting any information here. All he knows is that nobody pushed his way in through showers, right? They could still be waiting in showers. They don't know how many people are sitting on the site either. They know that the Operator was over at B long. I believe they saw the drone as well, but that was it.
Yeah, it's going to be the same A short execute from coming through from Time In. It worked last round. They tried to do it again. The difference is, well, this time they didn't have an ultimate in the hands of Kurt. That's going to be a round one very quickly. If you blinked, you missed it for down bad to close out the first half. Well played from Time In to slowly bring that one back, but you got to say kudos to down bad. Really, it was the first round that was clutched by Zambi, the Brimstone, in a 1v1 against Grego. You thought he was faking it. Instead, he stuck the defuse in round number 1, and since then they just took momentum. In round 2, it was Time In that took a little bit of a risk, deciding not to eco, deciding to force, and got punished as a result. They ended up losing 4 straight rounds, and that put them in a bit of a deficit. But then Time In was able to bounce back with at least 4 rounds won. The question is, can they do it now in turn, in reverse here in the second half?
There.
It's a big ask. Again, the map, given the data from the most recent large tournament, is heavily attack favored. Like the most heavily attack favored of all of the maps in the rotation. So down bad, you presume, right? Conventional wisdom suggests that down bad should be able to put the finishing touches on this. But as we've said a number of times in this broadcast, you can't count Time In out. You just can't.
Yeah, you know, one thing I have to say, I've been obviously keeping up with, you know, we talk about him often, everyone knows him, but I've been keeping up with Grego, Ninja, Morgazi, and Kurt for a few years, but Ninja since the Halo days. And to understand how Ninja has continued to evolve as a leader, an emotional leader. He's been here before. He's been down in series, whether it was in Halo or H1 or the like. He's been in this situation. However, when you're playing against a red-hot Agility who's connecting for more and more kills, it's tough to shut that down. And now it is, again, the inverse scenario. It is Ninja, none other than him and his teammate in Danny that need to clutch this one up. Much like Down Bad did the 2v3 round the first time, Ninja has to do it here. It's not going to happen, though, as Nico's going to shut it down. They win round number 1. You thought that maybe, just maybe, I was going to bring that into existence. I was going to manifest that, but unfortunately it didn't happen.
You had me convinced for a minute there. I thought for sure it was going to have. But look, here's what we just saw out of Down Bad was a different flavor than what we saw from Time In on the attacking side. A blast pack, a heavy presence up A short, right? Bancroft worked his way in. He was able to get a couple of opening picks, and then Time In on that retake, they played that so aggressively that when you saw them go into U-Haul, they held W, right? That was all they did. They were just going to run at them, and of course they're just going to get mowed down by a frenzy there. So Time In had a chance maybe to get something going. They had some information, unfortunately come up just a bit short. Yeah,
that just increases the deficit to 5 rounds now. On defense, though, on a slightly defensive-sided map, or probably one of the most defensive-sided maps, it is certainly possible. But the way that Agility's playing, the way that Bancroft is playing, this duo over here in Hookah, it's going to be tough to do. Ninja left to defend against them over in Hookah by himself. He's actually going to try and hold his ground. 3 opponents in front of him in Hookah, but he has some support. It's Danny, as they're just hiding currently. Not trying to reveal their location and just staying put, deciding to hold his ground.
And while Down Bad keep Ninja and Danny entertained, the spike has made its way into the site, John, and it's done it through B long. They were able to get all of the kills they wanted on the site as well. Xander gets in on the action. It's just one player rotating. It's Morgazi. He does get one with the Stinger, finds himself in a 1v2. The problem is, he's insanely weak, and Bancroft is still alive. The man's been single-handedly terrorizing Time In and the members of that roster, but we'll see if Morgazi can make anything happen here.
Yeah, you know, I called him bankroll for the first, 8 rounds of this game because I'm an idiot and I can't read, but really he's been bankrolling the entire team. And, of course, he's going to continue, but obviously Morgazi was weak. Now, round number 2 of this match, the force buy came in from time in, they decided to go with the force buy and ended up kind of hurting them. Obviously, don't blame them for force buying right there. You're down, you're on defense, down 9-4, 5-round deficit. You absolutely have to force buy. And it was just Down Bad, who continues to play well. And despite how great Timon has been against Snowmen and against Complexity, a team as great as Complexity, Down Bad's just looking great. I have to give kudos where kudos are due. Bancroft, Nico, the two duelists on this team have been playing well. But then when you have Agility and Xander right behind them also playing great, playing nearly as aggressive and as good as the duelists, it's hard to stop.
It is hard to stop indeed, as we've seen. Timon hasn't been able to do much of it. I love that, though. An early Paranoia down through a short. The paint cans to follow up. Xander's taken out early on. They also invested a bit of a shock dart to try to create some room, but Grego and Morg, they're getting something going here.
And a flawless round going to come in from Timon. We've called a few of these rounds in this match must-wins. I will continue with that theme because that certainly was. Going down 11-4 would have been very, very difficult, but Timon's going to secure it. They're going to get a flawless win. That's going to give them a chance here. And an operator in the hands of Kurt. And, of course, the rest of the team will pick up some assault rifles as well to boot. So that puts Timon in a situation here where they can potentially use this op in the hands of Kurt, who really has been the tip of the spear for this team, to snowball a little bit. I got to give kudos as well to Grego. Obviously, duelists on both sides are doing their jobs, are the ones that are fragging. But, you know, it's really been the Grego and the Kurt show in terms of breaking ice, getting first blood, and turning things around in the rounds that have gone well for Timon.
So Down Bad, every round so far, has had Bancroft drop the Roomba to clear out Hookah. And that's often a cue that you want to do something over on that space, or over on that half of the map. But this time what we're seeing, it's a slightly different flavor from Down Bad as they did that, but everything was over in showers. There's your showstopper. It's going to be used. Nico is able to trade it out as he gets two of his own. Zambi gets in on it as well. Timon's last remaining members are on the other side of the map. They're going to have to rotate over, and they're outnumbered.
It was a 3v3, and that pick on Zambi over Danny did the difference. Nice job from Zambi to connect and get the pick that might have just secured them the round, unless Ninja and Kurt can do anything about it. We all know how nasty Kurt has been all day long. He's playing on fire. A Brimstone smoke is going to go down, but look how far back. Look how much space is being created from Down Bad. Wisely so. You have a Brimstone on your team. Not sure if that Brimstone has an ultimate. I'm assuming the answer to that question is yes, which is going to make it quite a bit difficult here for the Time In squad, who might just decide to save, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, they do have to, and even so, Brim doesn't have the ult, but they do have all of the angles. They do have all of the firepower, and Time In, it was just so tough. Again, given how tight this map has been, or excuse me, how strong this map has been in favor of Down Bad, they have to take those weapons into the next round. Right? You can't really risk it, even if it's just a narrow 3v2. Take the guns into the next one.
I need this.
Yeah, especially if since Kurt's still alive with the op as well. That's kind of, especially the op costing more money now than it did months ago. It's the wise decision. Now, SMGs are going to be force bought. Ninja's actually going to give one to Grego, who's been, obviously his entry fragger, his duelist. That's a wise decision. Danny and Morgazi going to have an SMG, a Stinger as well. I want to quickly point out, though, the strategy we saw that last round from Down Bad. They ran 3 showers, so they baited actually a shot by Kirk getting the first pick, but they actually baited the Hookah play with the same exact Roomba that was placed in Hookah. Stayed patient, and then executed from showers to A with aggression. Despite the ultimate and hearing that ultimate, they stayed confident. Grego was only able to get one with that ulti, and as a result, it was Down Bad that was able to win that round. But it's all about this round now. Bancroft is going to neutralize, and just like that, Ninja's going to pop through. Oh my gosh, unfortunate for Ninja. Not able to connect. 4 HP for Agility. You got to be kidding me. As he made the wise decision, the confident decision, but unfortunately, the cookie didn't crumble his way.
Yeah, and that's got to be frustrating for Ninja, because that's the right call. That's the right thing to do there. Swing, knowing that the Sova's going to be in a situation like that. Unfortunately, didn't plan for there to be a bit of backup artillery in that situation. Ninja drops, as do 2 other members of Time In. Down Bad in control, and again, this is what I've been talking about the majority of the night. Take a look at how Down Bad is posted up. They've got the spike down, but John, they're nowhere near the damn thing. Because even if things go sideways, They've got the Hunter's Fury for the defuse back towards behind Ace Showers. Fortunately, they don't have to use it. Xander is able to hold fast. They get down bad to match point.
Match point.
Yeah, and obviously they had the grenade from the Raze and Bancroft. They also had the Molly coming through from Zambi. That's why Brimstone is so good, and despite the fact that Brimstone kind of fell out of meta for a little while before the buff came through, you can't deny that Brimstone and the ability to leverage a Molly, the Brimstone ultimate that's going to pop here after one more ult point for Zambi, that alone can guarantee you rounds, and especially avoiding a retake. So Brimstone cannot be slept on, especially now that smokes have been buffed quite a bit, and it's good to see some good Brimstone play here in this tournament. We haven't seen a whole lot of it necessarily, as now we're on board with Bancroft, who has a hot hand right now. Bancroft still playing inside Hookah. This time it's going to be Nico who gets the pick on Grego. And this is match point right now. Down bad trying to close it out. Ninja going to get tagged up a bit, at least wall banged. And that's going to be a pick. Bancroft is playing out of his mind right now.
Bancroft is one bad dude, John. I mean, it's just unreal. Now he's going to take that showstopper into the site, blast pack his way through, and again, Timon just has to give it some respect. There's only one member left in a 1v5. He's going to get mowed down. Ladies and gentlemen, down bad qualify for the main event.
Bancroft or Flights right there with some of that movement. A little cheeky cheat. No, I'm just kidding. Nice job and congratulations. You hit the nail on the head and you had the perfect call.